I saw a vision of the future, and it was truly beautiful. I want to share this vision with you because once we become aware in which direction we are moving right at this moment, everything becomes easier and we can feel much better. We can feel that it's not about fear, it's not about stress, it's not about how bad things are or seems like. It's about how we feel right at this moment, and it's about seeing where we are going, because it has a bigger meaning when we see in which direction we go. And if we might not like where we are going, we can choose right at this moment in which direction we will choose to step in. Because each step can lead us into a different destination, and it all depends in which direction we go. So this future was really powerful, and I felt so much connection with the humanity, with the whole planet, and I want to share it. So what I saw, firstly, I saw that people they came to understanding that everything is connected. So they started learning more about what our ancient traditions were talking for a long time: one unity, that everything is working together, that the universe is cooperating with all of us. So through a new science and different studies, they came to understanding that the universe is actually communicating with us through waves of frequencies. So when more and more people became aware of it, they built a communities where people were teaching this knowledge. So at one point, like, whole humanity became aware of that. So they started communicating with that force. And what happened, they started manifesting their wanting realities. Not just a group of people, not just a community, but whole planet started manifesting their wanting life. And it truly changed everything, because people became aware that their actions are what is creating the reality. So they became aware how they are thinking and how they are feeling. So it was really powerful. When I saw it, people were happy and excited, but they were still experiencing fear and stress, and they were still dealing with their emotions. And there were still hospitals, because some people were still in pain, some people were dealing with different diseases. But what was amazing to see in the hospitals, they were not using drugs anymore. Drugs were old school for them. They were using a little devices, and those devices were creating electromagnetic waves. What happened? They understood that their bodies are actually structures of electromagnetic fields. And what we see is a projection of those fields. And because they understood how their bodies works, they started applying the frequencies which can heal a certain parts of their bodies. So they learned what kind of frequency can heal a certain disease, on which kind of frequency a certain disease is, and what is a coherent frequency of a healthy body. And they produced devices which were producing the healthy frequencies, the coherent frequencies, which puts the body back in balance. So hospitals were using these little devices where people can just step close to the device and it will start affecting on the body's frequency. And it was really amazing to see, because right now we can see that the health corporations, the companies which are selling drugs, they are making a huge money with that. And people are saying with alternative medicine we can't make any money. So these frequency machines, or how to call them, you can still sell them, you can still make money with them, but it's a more healthier way of healing our bodies. But it's just a one thing, it's a part of the hospital. The other part was that people, when they were healed in the hospital, they got a different teachers which were teaching them how to heal your body. So once you get into the hospital, once you were healed, you were not just healed physically, you will get a certain teacher which will help you to stay healthy. Not to come back here to us and we will heal you. They were teaching people how to stay healthy. So it changed a lot of things in the financial system, because once people started manifesting all the abundance and all the things they ever wanted, they noticed that it's not about material things. It's even not about health. If we can manifest a healthy body, it's not about that. It's about something much more. And they've learned about what it is, something much more. It's the truth. Because they noticed, like I said before, that everything is a frequency. They've learned to use that language of nature. And what this language taught them is that there is a deepest truth within them. There is a deepest truth within each individual. So that's about unity. And it's not about manifestation. So they were a pros in manifestations. They could manifest anything they want really fast. So it was not a challenge for them anymore. And you can imagine what can happen when people had everything they ever wanted. What happens next? They started searching what is missing, that they are still not happy. So this was for me, it was for me a really powerful realization. When they started searching what is missing, that they are still not happy, they found out that their inner world was still not complete. They were still separated between the inner world and the outer world. So when they truly changed their whole realities, the systems and everything worked better because they were more happier. They started learning what is the truth that our ancient ancestors were talking like thousands, 5,000 years ago. It's about love, understanding of love. So they learned about love. They learned that love is a greatest language of life. Love is a greatest language of life. When you express love, you connect yourself with everything. So they knew that when they feel love, they don't feel anything else anymore. No fear, no separation. So love became their new religion. And it was not about different religions anymore. It was not about one part of community believes in that God and one part of community believes in that God. All the communities, or all the planet, all the humanity believed in one religion, and that religion is love. So how they explained love? They explained love as a greatest form of energy you can experience. And it is not limited. It is truly not limited. So every time when you experience it, it means that you can experience even more of it. But when you experience more of it, you feel more lifted. You feel greater. You feel better. And it was powerful because, like, when they understood that the healing can be done by that energy, that the communities are communicating by that energy. When they feel that everything is connected, what else happened? They didn't need money anymore because you can't buy it. So when people were healthy, when people were happy, when people were in love with life, they didn't need money anymore. So money was not a thing. And what I saw was really interesting. People started expressing their creativity. So they started building really amazing things, like amazing houses out of natural materials. They were not polluting the planet anymore. They were building everything from nature, and they started learning more about the nature. Again, they started learning how to produce materials which will go back to nature, and they will not pollute it. It was really amazing because they had such a powerful technology, but it was working one on one with nature, because they learned that the planet is alive, planet is creating electromagnetic fields. Stars in the universe, different planets, different positions of the planets in the universe can affect on the core vibrations of our state of beings. They understood that. So they started using that energy for their own technology, for their own vehicles, and things like that. And it was again really powerful. So for me, it was so interesting how well they are living and how happy they are. And they were not talking about any material thing anymore. What they were talking was about how to stay connected and how to stay on the greater level of vibration. They were talking a lot about what self-love means, because they understood that. They understood how to stay connected with everyone. They also knew how to telepathically communicate, because sometimes they were in meditation and they were communicating with their friends, and they were expressing different ideas. And what was again really interesting, they were producing art like it was something crazy. Like there was so many artists. And art was actually a greatest tool for being a leader. Leaders were artists, because they knew that imagination is leading us onto a greater level of awareness. So they were using art as a tool to grow. And people which were find themselves not creative, they were not like pushed out of the community, hey, you're a weirdo. Actually, more people came together and helped that person to find what is his mission, what is his gift, because they understood that each person, each individual is gifted at some way, at some part. So through the process of going from where we are right now and that future, they at some point find out that they don't need money anymore. So they were exchanging the energy. They understood that everything is energy. I mentioned it before. They understood that language of the universe. They understood how to communicate with the planet, with the stars, with the solar systems. They understood when is the best time to have meetings, when is the best time to work on different relationships, when is the best time to go within, because they understood that each day a planet is on different position, and each different positions is receiving different waves, electromagnetic waves, and with each frequencies through those electromagnetic waves, they are receiving different informations, and those informations are helping them to grow, because those informations are expressed through thoughts. And for example, when their planet was in a position for healing, they were not working on something physical, they were not struggling. They went with the flow, and they were working on their healing, their emotional healing, relationship healing, physical healing, planets healing. They were helping animals to stay in a really beautiful balance. So it was such a beautiful vision, and I wanted to share it with you because it can inspire us that we don't need helicopters anymore to observe what is happening, where to create wars. One amazing thing was about war. One amazing thing was about soldiers. What soldiers were doing. Yes, they still had soldiers, but soldiers became new savers. Soldiers became new savers. And what it means, when there was a certain disaster or catastrophe on the planet, they called up soldiers to help people, because soldiers were trained to work on really hard environment situations. They were trained to stay ready for those kind of moments. So soldiers became a new savers when there was something hard to, where there was a need to help people. So it was again amazing. So people understood how to heal their bodies. People understood that it's not about material thing. But because they understood that it's not about material things, they were all living abundant life. What else they understood, when one person had too much energy, like for example now we could say when one person have a lot of money, that person is holding that money for themselves. Not all of them, but we can find many people like that. When in that vision of the future, one person had too much energy, that person started sharing that energy with all the community. So all the community found advantage of that. And what else happened? That person started helping again all the community how they can raise their energy to manifest more of that energy, more of that abundance. So there was not about one individual, another individual, another individual, another individual. It was about the community of one planet, of one universe, of one living force. And that was truly beautiful. So I believe that we are going into that direction. But I want to remind you that it was my vision of the future. And many times when we see visions like that, we see just a projection of our deepest beliefs, deepest judgments, and deepest perceptions. So it was my vision of the future because I believe that we are going into that direction. But what can happen if collectively we can see a vision like that? It means that collectively more of us are moving into the same direction and we will manifest it. I believe that that future already exists, and I believe that it is waiting for us when we will be so ready that we will feel it. We will think about it. We will feel it emotionally. We will feel the connection of it. We will manifest it. And I think it's a great opportunity right now to think about it. To think like truly about that vision of the future. The connection of what is happening right now, what is like falling apart, and what is building up. Because our ancient ancestors already understood that, but at some point we forgot about it. And now it's time to get back to the core, back to the center, and experience it once again, even in the greater form of that. So that's it, my friends. I'm sending you love, I'm sending you blessings. Have a beautiful day, and see you soon. One love, one connection, one power. That's it. That's who we are. Peace.